have plucked the rose. Fever grey hot. Longing still for that which longer nurseth the disease. In faith, I do not love thee. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? When I have plucked the rose, plucked the rose. Longing still for that which longer nurseth the disease. In faith, I do not love thee. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?
Alrighty, so that was a little bit of me mucking around, so we'll just see how things go. Welcome to Australia's NBN, National Broadband Network. Should be getting 40 upload speed. I'm getting no problems with download, 190 to 100 megabits per second. I'm just seeing how my upload goes and how this streams. It has been playing up recently, so we will just plug along. I've dropped down to 720 standard, 60 frames, so we'll just see how that works out for everyone. Okay. Alright, so I'm just been gearing my boy here. I tell you what, I get a little bit of RSI doing the demonology. It's not really set up for raiding, and I tell you what, the fingers, supremacy. We'll try that. Proved red stalkers. Oh, look, we'll go with that. Let's get in there. What have we haven't done so far? Raid finder. Alright, I think I've done all of it bar those two. So let's do it. Oh dear. Alrighty. Geez, that's quick, the fill. Doom is a spell, just the 30-second timer just doesn't make sense. Even in things die too quickly, but that's an LFA. But I suppose in the higher things they'd last, but mostly on trash, I would presume. But let's give it a test. Where is it? Impending Doom. No, we'll stay with that. We'll stay with that. Actually, let's go Implosion.
I am bound to serve.
Yeah, so this character has been set up as a demonology warlock, but raiding I instantly swapped to, and I picked up a second spec of affliction, and you know, with the amount of artifact power out there, it didn't take long to get my leveling stuff up.
Whispers end. It all makes sense.
Oh god, what's that then? At least I got a legendary now.
Fall before your masters.
Thanks, mate, thanks. Feel quite weak. Feel very weak in comparison to affliction. So just affliction's so much more flexible. Oh, 73 million. I'm not going to mess around with that dude. Let's just get it. God, this character hasn't even explored this place.
The great darkness knows more.
Well, if it knew all it would have known, I would have been coming this way and it would have got me. What do we got? Have I got... I don't know if I've got... I do. Warframe.
Let them feel your fury.
Ah, someone's running around in old Warlock gear.
changes nothing.
Good old demonology. So this is the issue I have with this certain DPS specs that struggle for a class identification. You've got, this is a long-standing issue, and I'll pick on the Warlock and I've say put it for the Druid. The Druid's got 4 specs. One's like melee, you know, balance is ranged, and you got the healer and you got the tank, and they're defined. And it seems every expansion, like they fucking stuff up like Warlock specs. They don't make them. It's quite clear one ends up becoming stronger than the other, and I think if you can't balance the specs to be competitive consistently, and hasn't happened in years, then they should basically get rid of the specs or reduce the specs, or you know. And then they make the spec too good. So I go back to WoD where they made Demonology. They kept buffing Demonology. They kept tweaking it, kept changing it. And then everyone, what is it? Hellfire Citadel basically was running Demonology. And what was it? That was the one before that one. Yeah. Before Demonology. Oh god, what was it? Hellfire? It had Hellfire Citadel, and then. Oh god, what was the other one?
The Legion's forces are unprepared for your arrival.
Oh shit.
Put an end to them.
That's why it's not coming up. I'm in raid. Yeah, let's get that done.
There is so much untapped power in this world.
Yeah, so let's just say back in WoD, they kept buffing the Demonology spec. Eventually, that didn't stop a lot of Affliction players, Destro players, but it was Demonology is such a great spec, and when it was basically the Swiss Army knife spec of the Warlocks for so long. You got so much utility and tools to deal with things, and plus you had Metamorphosis where you could jump, and I love the fact I could jump in, AoE, jump back out, you know, shit like that. It was fun, and I'm emphasizing the fun side of it more than anything else. But they kept buffing it, and got to the point where everyone, this is what the developers said, that everyone, 99% of all Warlocks were basically Demonology, and they felt they had to be that. So then they dropped the damage by 25% or something to that effect. Yeah, but it's been a consistent pattern that over the course of several expansions, they've still not been able to get a viability in all 3 specs. One spec seems to be dominant over others now. You know, I think the problem is you've got 3 DPS specs, and it's just too hard to balance it. Whereas you got like a Druid, you've got range spec, you've got a melee spec, you've got a tank spec, you've got a healing spec, so you can make those easier defined. And poor pure DPS spec seems to cop it. So they should really, you know, focus on Affliction being a dot spec, Destro being the fire green spec, which it looks like in the next Battle of Azeroth, it's looking a bit like that, and already the Demonology is looking better. But that's 10 years. That's a long time. 10 years I've been playing Warlocks, and it's bloody frustrating. And I'm a stubborn bastard. I played out the specs. I like it, but I always get it's just the Warlock. Something about the Warlock's always driven me back. Let's just say when they released Green Fire, I had not played the game for 5 years. And when I saw they had the Green Fire, I thought I had to come back, and I pretty much have been back since then. What was that, Mr. Pandaria? And I took about a 7-month break, but that's just due to life and commitments and stuff, which come first. Business. But and I know they're stuck in a catch-22 because it's hard to. Because I reckon if they tweak demonology too good, and make it a really good summoning spec, then they're going to go. Actually, let's use these ideas for new class. You know, like a necromancer, and suddenly the poor old warlock, demonology warlock, gets gutted again, which left a lot of us bitter and jaded. Jesus, how long has this dungeon taken? This raid taken? Alright, we just need healers. Okay. Anyway, that's what you're having a mind on a Sunday night. Depends if you've been using Warlocks. Oh god, my net. Come on. Jesus, I meant to have 40,000 upload. 40 megabits per second upload, and I'm struggling for 3. Good old NBN. What am I paying the extra money for? I want the upload speed. Why is he looking like I've got... Okay.
Chronikai Christor. Light guide us.
Oh, it's 300. Oh, we'll get us a new... We'll go a new trinket, I reckon. Oh, a headpiece would probably be smarter. Yeah, headpiece. Oh, ultra high shadow, piss that off. Liquid detail, let's piss that off. Oh, Jesus, what did I do? 100 frames a second now. Don't need shadow. Get up there. Oh, NBN, I give up on you. Can I... get up there? Okay. Phone calls. I shall return.